Welcome back to another watch video. Thanks for coming along with me. For everybody who watched my last one about that bull of a Jetstar, thank you. It did way better for a brand new channel than I thought. And we're back to talk about the Xeric Halograph. This is a rather new watch to me. I got it a few months ago. And the vast majority of my watches have a story behind them. This is no different. And when that happened, it was a bit of a milestone. And I wanted to dedicate that milestone with a watch. So I cut the story and shoved it to the end of the video. I launched into full-on story time mode here, and I just didn't want to make you sit around through all of that before we got to the watch. So here's the watch, and stick around until later if you're curious to what this milestone is. And I wanted that watch to be something that didn't take itself too seriously. I wanted it to have fun pops of color. I wanted it to be something different, quite different. Something that wasn't just a standard, typical three-hander with a date, you know? And that thing that I found was the Xeric Halograph. Luckily, I found a promo code, and you can too. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not going to put links to it or anything down below, but if you do want to take a look at what Xeric is doing, I first heard about this watch on Jody's channel over at Just One More Watch. If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're probably familiar with him. He had a promo code that helped me save 20% on this thing. And I think it's 20% off almost anything in that shop. So take a look at his Xeric videos, use his Just One More Watch promo code, save yourself 20% if you're going to pick anything up. Before I ramble on any longer, let's go ahead and get over to the top down so we can take a look at this thing. Welcome, my friends, to the Xeric Halograph CMYK. Yeah, it's a CMYK colorway for obvious reasons, right? You got your cyan, magenta, yellow, and the black. You have a bicolored seconds hand that ticks around there thanks to the Seiko NH36 movement. Now we get used to seeing the NH35 in the micro brand community, right? Your standard, bulletproof kind of Seiko movement with a couple hands, a seconds, and a date. But this is the NH36, which adds the day complication there. You can see Wednesday the 25th down there at the bottom. And Xeric it's a company that kind of specializes in alternative ways of telling time. This is obviously no different. With this type of a watch, you might look at it and say, what the heck time is it? But it's really not that tough to see there. So if you look at it's actually a horrible time. Let me change that. And then we'll get a little bit easier to read time on there for you. Okay, is it cliche to do a watch video with the watch set at 10:10? Yeah, absolutely. But that's what we're doing. So there, you can see it's 10:10. The blue circle circles the hours. The pink circle circles the minutes. And that's how you tell the time. Now, once you go around and around, you can see that there's a couple of different circles. There's a couple of different there's actually a couple of blue circles and a couple of pink circles. There's multiple circles floating all over the place, and they follow the proper hour and minute tracks, so you can always tell the time properly. Now, Xeric says that this is an easier, I don't want to say they say it's easier, right? They say that there's a case to be made that it's easier to tell the time on this watch than it is a standard watch. Stop it, Xeric. That's not easier. Now, maybe there is a case to be made if this is the only watch you've ever looked at, and this is how you learn to tell the time. Sure. But nobody learns this way. Let's be honest. This is just a funky, weird way of telling the time. It's going to take you a couple glances once in a while, and that's okay. It's okay for it to be funky and weird. That was the whole point for me. I like the pops of color. A pink and yellow second hand? Come on, I'm in. Let's go. Not for every day, but every once in a while. This is awesome. It's a nice stainless steel bullhead case. That dial is floating there underneath a single domed anti-reflective coated sapphire crystal. It's a beautiful Horween leather strap. The leather smells fantastic. You know it's Horween as soon as you take it out of the package because it hits you in the nose in the best way possible. And I mean, the black PVD stainless steel bullhead case, it's 42 millimeters across. I don't know what the lug to lug is on this, but come on, it's next to nothing. If you have a small wrist, you can wear this. And if you have a gigantic wrist like me, I mean, I'm 6'4", 270 pounds, maybe 260. It depends on the week, right? Depends on when you step on the scale. But I'm a big guy. I have a big wrist, and this is well proportioned for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. And there we are on my chunky wrist. This looks fantastic, wonderfully proportioned. I like it a lot. I even love the yellow hits on that strap. Now, this is not the strap that it came with. This is an alternate strap by Xeric. I actually picked it up from their shop. It was on like clearance for 20 bucks or something. For a Horween leather strap, yes, please. And I was looking for something with some yellow hits anyway. So this fit the bill quite perfectly. The strap that it came with is in that envelope right there. Let's take a look at that bad boy. Here you go. Also Horween leather, rally style strap. I'm a big fan of this. The construction, the materials. I like the little hits of pink and blue here. I love that Xeric gives us proper quick release spring bars. I don't know why these aren't the industry standard across all watch brands, but they're not. It's a shame that they're not. I like how this strap looks on the watch. The pink and blue hits match and look really nice. But I just don't like seeing my hairy wrist through holes on the strap. So that's why I went and found this one. I looked all over the place and I ended up right back at the Xeric website. So, you know, sometimes it's best to just buy straps from the brand because they know what the heck they're doing and they're making stuff that matches their watches. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this strap. I'm a big fan of both the straps. This was just a subjective choice as to why I'm not rocking that one. But again, Horween leather, super high quality. There's no need to go get another strap for this, but if you do, you're just not gonna hate yourself for it. I guarantee that. So there is my Xeric Halograph. Let's take a look at the case back. It's a solid case back, which I'm a fan of. Like, I don't need to see a stock Seiko NH36 in all of its glory. I kind of like what they've done with the solid case back here. It's really pretty. Here, let's get some more light on that for you. Obviously automotive inspired. And you have all of your kind of specs around the outer ring there. But it says Halograph Automatic 3. This is the Halograph 3. I should have said that in the opening, but I just waited till now for some godforsaken reason. It's the Xeric Halograph 3. They have a few different versions of this. And it says automatic. This is the automatic version. They also have a Mecha Quartz chronograph to take a look at. It's a little bit cheaper. This one is $499 US. And then again, I had that 20% coupon code to make it $399 US, which is $100 US better. So I'll take that every time. And then down below it says limited edition, and it's going to come out of focus, but I'm getting it closer to my eyes. This is number 112 of 1966. All right, so 1966 is the edition run here. While less than 2,000 watches seems like it's a limited edition for a micro brand, like, is it really? Like, that's almost 2,000 watches. But at the same time, if you go on the website and look at this model right now, it's going to say there's less than 100 of them left. So, I don't know, maybe that is somewhat limited. Maybe that's something to hang your head on, or maybe it's just good marketing, which is completely possible. So here is your up-close look of the Xeric Halograph III Automatic CMYK. My reminder to myself that since I started my own stinking company out of necessity, go figure, everything is going to be different, including the way you tell the time. And maybe you shouldn't take things so seriously all the time. And there you have it, the Xeric Halograph III. Now, I'm not going to lie. If I could pick any Xeric watch, this wouldn't be the one. The Halograph was purchased out of, I don't want to say necessity, because I didn't need a watch, but I was on a budget. I needed to keep this purchase under $500. This ticked my boxes, and it did the trick. But if you're interested in the brand and alternative ways to tell time, just a little bit different than your standard stuff, take a look at the triptych. The Xeric triptych was absolutely the watch I would have gone for if it wasn't out of the budget. That one is it's $10.99 US, I believe, in the standard versions, and they just released stone dial versions and all sorts of different awesome stones for $11.99, just $100 more. It's a wandering hours complication, which is absolutely fascinating to look at. And before this, Like, that was popularized by MB&F. So, I mean, you're talking about watches that cost 6 figures and up. And now you're able to get them in the lowest of 4-figure price brackets. If I could have afforded one of those, I definitely would have gone with the Xeric Triptych, probably the black mother of pearl dial. That's really pretty. Or maybe the red abalone dial, if you're into that sort of thing. Or if I was looking at the standard dial versions, they have a rose gold. It's not actually gold. It's a rose gold PVD case with what they call an ocean blue dial. It's classy and gorgeous. And then they have a panda dial, which, I mean, come on, who doesn't like a good panda dial? Take a look at the Xeric Triptychs. If you're interested, take a look at the Xeric Halographs. And again, head over to Jody's channel at Just One More Watch. Look up any Xeric video that he has posted, and he's probably going to have a promo code in the description that's going to save you 20% on your Xeric purchase, just like I did. As promised, it's story time. So a little backstory on me. I'm a mortgage professional of almost 20 years. That's what I had done for a living for a very long time. A few years back, I got into creating video content, trying to educate people about the mortgage process, finance, all that fun stuff. And towards the end of 2022, so end of last year, it was actually December 30th. Remember it like it was yesterday, because the mortgage industry had been in a bad place. It was continuing to be in a bad place. A lot of companies were making cutbacks, and you just don't forget those calls. December 30th of 2022, I was not dismissed. I was not given a pink slip. I was not a victim of layoffs. I was lucky in that respect, but I did get half my income taken away. I was working on building a particular mortgage brand for a larger mortgage company, and that product, that project, so to speak, had been completely shut down. And half my income was allocated to that. Normally, you think, hey, half is better than nothing. And you know what? It was, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills. And with a 1-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter, and a wife who had recently tendered her resignation so she could stay home and take care of our 1-year-old son full time, I had to find a way real quick to put food on table and diapers on butts. I went into the Google sphere and I tried to figure out how to sign up to do DoorDash deliveries or Uber Eats or dog walking gigs around the neighborhood, anything that I needed to do with the other half of my time that was now free, to support everybody. And one of, I don't want to call him a mentor, he's more of a friend that I look up to, had a phone call with me and said, man, you got to quit selling yourself short on what you do with video. So I talked to my wife about it, and she said, listen, if you're not just going to go get another job, I want to see you do something that's going to make you happy. And in February, I launched Red Button Media. That's our URL. Check us out if you want to. I don't think that makes us a sponsored video. No, not a sponsored video, but hit theredbutton.com if you want to figure out what I'm doing now. But it's a video content agency, family owned and operated, and it was a new world for me because now, at least halfway, I worked for myself and I didn't know what the heck was going to come of it, but I knew that I was willing to put in the work and put in the effort and all that fun stuff. Fast forward 6-7 months, I had a handful of clients that I'm proud enough to call friends now, which is fantastic. And honestly, things have worked out so far. I mean, we're only 8 months down the road, but when we hit that 6-month mark, I had successfully replaced that half of the income that had been lost at the end of the year. And there you have it, the Xeric Halograph III, my present to myself for replacing income that I lost. I will always remember that moment. And coming out of that moment, when I wear this watch. Thanks for being here. Let me know what you think about this watch in the comments, and we'll see you later.